build your foundation. Leave your mark on this creation. Legacy, build your kingdom. Yeah, build your kingdom. Legacy, build your kingdom with Rudy Knapp.
Welcome back to Legacy Build Your Kingdom. I'm your host, Rudy Knapp, and welcome to episode 61. Last week in episode 60, we reached a major milestone for this podcast. We took a macro look at the overall architect of kingdom building and laid down the blueprint for true sovereign leadership. If you missed episode 60, make sure you go back, listen to that show. Now that we passed that milestone, episode 61 is about high velocity execution. Today is your ultimate 5-pillar cheat code. I am giving you 10 tactical, data-based micro wins, 2 for each pillar, that take almost 0 extra time out of your day and give you a massive, immediate authority across your faith, your mind, your body, your treasury, and your relationship. Every single one of those strategies isn't just in theory. These are battle-tested tools that have driven massive success from past clients that I've had in my life coaching business. Also, there is data backing each one of these strategies to explain why it is vital to the enhancement of your life. When you look at one-on-one with me, when you look at that life coaching, that work that you'll get with me, you aren't just getting advice. You get a thorough, dedicated accountability coach who personalizes goals and action plans directly to the unique needs of your kingdom. My mission is to help you build a strong, sturdy foundation across all 5 pillars so that you can continue to stack wins and live a genuine, happy, successful life. If you are interested, come see me, talk to me, DM me. Most people are so scared to admit that they want to get back on track. Don't be scared. I'm the same way. We have the ability to help one another out. Come talk to me. But before we unlock this first move, these first strategies that I want to talk about, there are 2 critical announcements that you need to act on right now. First, mark your calendars for Saturday, September 19th from 1 to 3 p.m. I'm hosting a live book signing event at Plot Twist in Lockport. Whether you want to pick up your copy of Legacy Build Your Kingdom on site at Plot Twist, or you bring one that you already have, a copy that you already purchased, and I will sign it for you. I am happy to sign it for you. I want to shake your hand, talk a little bit about your building, but also just say thank you because I appreciate your support. Second, if you're ready to stop drifting and you want one-on-one life coaching to execute these strategies that I'm going to talk about today, or all the strategies that I implement in my one-on-one life coaching, if you want to stop drifting, please come see me so we can execute these strategies with total accountability. And then you can also find me at www.legacycoaching-buildyourkingdom.com. You can apply there, but please come see me. I want to help you. I want to make sure that we get our lives on track, because my purpose in life is to truly get the best out of those people around me. And if I can help you in the slightest bit, like I've seen success after success with people that I've worked with, I am here to be your support. I am here to guide you with the what to do and the how to do it. Those are the important parts of changing and actually building our kingdom. So now let's jump straight into these 10 quick win strategies to update you and your kingdom today. So I do have a disclaimer alert. Let me start off by just telling you, before even starting, I'm also in this process of implementing these strategies back into my life again. Life happens. Everyone is different. We all have different needs and strengths, but simple, quick wins, these tasks can truly be life-changing and develop a foundation for your kingdom. The data is here. The results are true. And if you know better, you do better. I use that every day in my teaching in the classroom. If you know better, you do better. That's about building character. That's about building our own personal character of who we are and what we stand for. Same goes for our kingdom. So I challenge you today to really focus on implementing these strategies into your daily practice of life and record your own data. How does it make you feel? What results have you seen directly from the tasks you implemented? Short term, long term, I too will be on this journey and I will be recording my data, and I too will be doing the same thing as you. So just remember, we have 168 hours in a week. And as I mentioned many times, giving you 4 to 5 hours to exercise weekly seems to be very minimal, but it has the greatest impact on your life. From feeling better physically and healthier overall to mentally gaining confidence, leading to being more social. If you have 168 hours in a week, and what I'm about to share with you are quick wins that will only take you no more than 1 to 5 minutes for each one. You can argue that time is not going to be an issue because you can implement them. You can't tell me that you don't have enough time to implement these if they take 1 minute practice. You have 7 days a week. All 10 of these actionable items that I'm about to share with you, they take less than 1 hour out of your life total. In 1 week, less than 1 hour out of your life. So, these results that you get after taking that 1 hour out of your life, they can lead to a disciplined, life-changing, strong, and sturdy kingdom. The benefits far outweigh the little bit of time that you have to do or take out of your life. Let's do this together. And when a month passes and you've done these for 30 straight days, established your new discipline consistently, reach out to me and let's get on this show and let's discuss your results. Real talk. Whether it works or not, come talk to me and let's get you out there. I'm very confident to say that these strategies will work. They are data-based, and we're going to talk about each and every one of them right now, starting with the first pillar. So, pillar number 1, spiritual uplift and purpose, or your faith. Interesting how we always talk about how this pillar is first. And I say that because without that spiritual or that purpose in life, we're lost. So we really want to focus on pillar number 1 first. Again, all of them are equally important here when it comes to establishing routine in your life and making sure that we truly do these quick wins to help build this kingdom up that we're talking about. So the first action item under the pillar number 1, spiritual uplift and purpose, is called the first sip dedication. Every morning before taking your very first sip of water or coffee, pause for 10 seconds. Hold your cup with both hands. Close your eyes and offer a 10-second prayer dedicating to the day's energy, the work, and the conversations to God's purpose. So we're going to pray. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to spend 10 seconds dedicating our prayer to the energy for the day, the work, and that conversation with God and His purpose. Your purpose, God's work. Why is this so important? Well, it anchors your spirit in intentional before digital noise and emails or workplace demands hit your mind. Think about that. You need to have this embedded into your brain so that your spirit has intention and all that other stuff doesn't cloud your mind. The data that backs this up, I told you I have data for each one of these. Behavioral research from Stanford University demonstrates the high impact of habit stacking and micro mindfulness or spiritual ritual onto an already established daily routine, like morning coffee or whatever you drink in the morning. It increases long-term habit adherence by over 80%. That means you're going to do it by over 80%. You're going to focus on those things that are important in your life and put them beforehand. 80% of the time, that's a huge stat. when we get disrupted, when we decide that we're going to pick up our phone first, when we decide that there's disruption in our lives, what ends up happening is we put all those goals, those God work on the back burner. We want to make sure that we really are focused on our purpose in life. Action item number 2. The evening surrender audit. Right before bed, take a small piece of paper. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for to God. Okay? Why are you grateful for God? And one concern currently outside of your direct control. Maybe it's a health issue. Maybe it's something at work that you don't have direct control over. Maybe it has something to do with your kids. Fold that piece of paper and physically put it inside your Bible. If you don't have a Bible, put it inside a designated surrender box or just in your nightstand, wherever you want to keep it, but keep it there. Why is this so important? Why is this vital? I can already see some of you thinking that this is weird or doesn't work, or why would I spend the time doing? But let me tell you why it is so vital to uplifting your life, to that spiritual pillar. It's physically going to offload your psychological burden, and it acknowledges that while you're in control of your own efforts, God governs the outcomes. Think about that. It's physically going to be something that you're actually writing and putting aside. It's there. It's tangent. And when we say this, it's taking away that burden that you have no control over. You have control over your effort, but God is in control of all outcomes. The data behind this. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology showed that physically writing down gratitude and offloading external stressors right before sleep significantly decreases pre-sleep anxiety and improves your REM sleep, your restorative sleep. There's data that backs this up. Don't you want to sleep soundly? Don't you want to go deep into sleep? We all know how sleep gives us that energy. This is the ability to ensure that you're not sitting up at night worried, that you're not allowing that to take that stress on your body and keeping you from sleeping. This is an important one. All right, let's move on to pillar 2. This is your mental health, and your mental health growth is so important to our life that we're constantly working on our brain. The first item, or action item number 3, I guess you would say, the first one for pillar 2, the 90-second psychological reset. How to implement this? Well, I would say in order to implement this, when you feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or your mental fog is rising, I want you to execute 2 rapid inhales through your nose, followed by a long extended exhale through your mouth. Do this 3 times back to back and say something out loud. This is what I want you to do. I want you to say, I am in control of my reaction. I do not react to the condition. Yes, actually say it. So it looks like this. 2 quick inhales through your nose, 1 long exhale out. I am in control of my reaction. I do not react to the condition. When we do this, it interrupts the involuntary fight or flight nervous system response in real time. It restores cognitive control over your emotional state. Think about it. We're frustrated. We're overwhelmed. We're ready to react. Or we have this mental fog going on. We need to get back on track and regenerate or condition our body, our nervous system. It's a nice, easy breath that takes you 5 seconds of your life. You do it 3 times in a row. The data behind this says that neurobiology studies led by Andrew Huberman at Stanford revealed that the psychological sigh is the fastest real-time psychological mechanism to downregulate nervous system arousal, and it reduces stress. I want to give you an example of this. I coached this client, this high-level client, who kept losing his composure during important meetings at work. By implementing this exact 90-second reset, the moment he felt tension, that rising in his chest, that beating in his chest, his heart's beating, he eliminated his knee-jerk reactions and regained complete authority in the room. It may seem small, but this was the difference between stepping out of his character and displaying his anger and possibly losing his position, sending his kingdom into a crumble, and actually controlling himself and being productive in his work environment. You could go one way. You could lose that kingdom by getting fired, by losing your job, by reacting, or you get your composure, right? You actually have control and you become productive in your life, all because of a simple breathing exercise to reset your nervous system. He actually stated that after he used this 90-second reset, I said it takes a few seconds, but you're right. After 90 seconds, you're probably going to be back composed. Right? He actually said that he uses it in his personal life when he's frustrated with his person, when he's driving and he's avoiding road rage, and even with his kids when he gets frustrated with his kids. The breathing, it works. It gets your mindset. It controls yourself. We all know that controlling yourself, is the strongest thing you can do as a person. All right, let's go on to action item number 4, the second one of your mental health growth. The digital sunset barrier. All right, so I want you to set your reoccurring alarm on at 8:30 p.m. every night. I know everybody has different schedules. I understand there's certain things, and we're kind of assuming that you're going to bed at night. Some people work at night. I understand that, so we're going to adjust yours, but I'm giving you this as a life coach. This is what I would tell you. 8:30 at night, set it. When that sound goes off, you place your phone either outside of your room, in a drawer. I know a lot of people use it as an alarm clock, so put it on your nightstand. Do not touch it until after your morning routine the next day. Replace your screen time with reading, journaling, or direct conversation with your person. I know it's hard to do. I know the TV goes on. I get it. But your TV is a lot like your phone. Turn it off. Read, journal, write down your things for what you're grateful for God. Spend your time decompressing. This detox is so needed and opens the door to stimulating your mind elsewhere. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that late night blue light exposure suppresses melatonin production by up to 50% and spikes nighttime cortisol, causing chronic mental fatigue. So when we say this, we're telling you that melatonin is not there to relax you, and that cortisol, it's spiking, so it keeps you exhausted because your mind cannot relax and you cannot sleep. We want to make sure that screen gets turned off. Everyone tells you this, and this isn't anything new, but when you set your alarm clock at that 8:30 alarm, and you truly find your brain being more productive with reading or journaling or talking to your partner, you will see a huge difference in how relaxed you are the next day, how mentally clear you are the next day. All right, let's move on to pillar 3, your physical enhancement and health. Now, most people will probably think I'm going to talk about going to the gym and working out, but really, let's talk a little bit about moving your body, but let's also get into this mentality of what we put in our body. So when I say physical enhancement, I'm going to talk about action item number 5, the 10-minute post-meal glucose walk is what I call it. Immediately after finishing your largest meal of the day, usually, that's your nighttime, that's your dinner, that's your big meal when you get home from work, step outside and walk briefly for exactly 10 minutes. You don't have to walk for 20 minutes. You don't have to walk for an hour. Walk for 10 minutes. It engages your skeletal muscles to clear glucose from your bloodstream, preventing blood sugar spikes, fat storage, and afternoon or evening slumps. That means we eat, we go into a food coma, as we call it. We fall asleep, we sit on the couch, and we take a nap before we even go back to bed. It happens to me a lot. So getting up and moving, I'm implementing this starting today, moving my body again. Even if it's stretching and you're getting your body moving, it helps with clearing this glucose from your bloodstream. But 10 minutes, go for 10 minutes. And if you go for 10 minutes, you have the ability to feel better before that nighttime slump, before you go to bed. A meta-analysis produced in sports medicine showed that just 2 to 5 minutes of light walking immediately following a meal significantly reduces glucose and insulin levels compared to sitting and or standing. I want to tell you a story about a client again. I had this client, he was struggling with severe afternoon brain fog and weight retention, could not lose the weight. He had a simple 10-minute walk right after lunch every single day. Within 8 weeks, without changing his diet drastically, minimal changes, his afternoon fatigue completely vanished. He wasn't falling asleep at work anymore. And he dropped about 14 pounds. That's huge. From 10 minutes of walking after you eat a lunch, think about if you do 10 minutes after lunch and 10 minutes after dinner. Think about how that can adjust and change your entire life or your entire daily routine. All right, actionable item number 6, the hydration before caffeine rule. How do we implement this? Right before your morning coffee touches your lips, drink 16 ounces of room temperature water mixed with a small pinch of unrefined sea salt. You lose roughly a liter of fluid overnight. Drinking caffeine on a dehydrated system spikes cortisol unnaturally and triggers a mid-morning energy crash. So we get tired by 10 o'clock. So what do? We drink water to hydrate ourselves, get it through. I've always told you on this podcast that I drink 2 full glasses of 20-ounce water first thing when I wake up. That's one of my habit stacking routines. First thing, 2 full glasses. I got out of that routine for a little bit. I'm now back to that routine. 2 20-ounce glasses of water so that my body is completely full of water and flushing out all the things from when I was sleeping at night or from the previous day. Go to the bathroom, you get rid of. Now that salt is really important as well too. We need to make sure we have salt into our bodies to help us with those nutrients that we need so that the water can help us flush out. Clinical studies in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirms that even mild dehydration, 1 to 2% of your body mass, significantly impairs cognitive processing speed, working memory, and mood regulation. This is so important to anything that happens in your life. Your mental capacity is so important, and it comes from your physical. So if your physical is restricting your mental, that's a problem. Your mental restricts your physical to get in shape. Your physical is restricting your mental when you don't put the right things in your body, the water that you need, the nutrients that you need, the correct vitamins that you need. This is so vital. This is so simple. We talk about these tasks and these action items. They're so simple. Drink 16 ounces of water before you drink anything else, before you do anything else, immediately when you get up. You can't tell me that you can't implement this starting tomorrow morning. It's extremely important. We're on to pillar number 4, financial and career development. This item, actionable item number 7, is called a 24-hour purchase friction lock. So I call it the 24-hour purchase friction lock. You go into your phone or your web browser right now and you remove all saved credit card information from automatic checkouts like Amazon, Apple Pay, whatever stores you shop at. For all non-essential purchases over $50, enforce a mandatory 24-hour waiting period. That means you cannot purchase it for 24 hours. Even though you want it, even though you desire it, you can't purchase it. Remember, non-essential. So this breaks up the impulse buying loops and forces intentional stewardship over your treasury. That means your funds aren't going to be drained because you go out and are purchasing things on a whim because you saw something cool come across Instagram that said, hey, this looks cool. This is a new gadget. I want this. I want to be the first one to have it. Right away, click, click, boom, you purchased. Why do people say that your website should have a one-click process? Anytime you're selling something, a one-click process. Click it once, less than 3 times. If you do that, guess what? People are more in a habit to purchase. If you have to go through and type in a bunch of things, and whatever the case is, people were more mindful to say, hey, you know what? I don't want to purchase this. Make it difficult for yourself to purchase it, and you may back out of that impulsive buying. The data behind this says behavioral economics research from MIT shows that adding physical friction, requiring manual card entry or enforced waiting periods, reduces impulse purchasing by up to 30%. Now, let me tell you this story about this girl that I worked with. And she keeps talking about her financial pillar and how her financial pillar struggles. She keeps spending all of her money. She's living paycheck to paycheck, and she needs to save, and she needs to put money into some funds, some growth funds. In order to do that, she felt like, I can't get my finances together. She felt like her paycheck was constantly leaking out of her hands. She realized late night online shopping was the problem. Deleting her saved payments and all those details that she has saved in her phone created just enough friction for her to pause, saving her over $600 a month. And that went straight to her growth fund. She was investing money now. She's letting her money make money. This is how you build. But when she identified the problem, when we came up with this concept of, hey, putting it on hold 24 hours, it's non-essential. When she decided to implement this in her life, she saved $600 a month. That's a huge amount of money. Imagine how much online shopping she was doing. Imagine how much impulse buying she was doing. You're there too. Look at how many apps you pay for. Go through and delete the ones you're not using. Go through and get rid of things that are not essential to your life. Watch how it changes your funds that you have available for you. Actionable item number 8, the daily 2-minute treasury audit. Set your alarm clock again, 12 p.m. this time. This is noon. Log into your primary banking account for exactly 2 minutes. You're going to spend 2 minutes of your life. Audit every transaction you did in the last 24 hours. Review those balances and then log out. Why would we do this? Why is this important? Financial anxiety thrives on avoidance. Confronting your numbers daily builds financial awareness and eliminates fear. We are fearful of what we know is existing, but until we see it directly and we address it directly and we confront those numbers daily, then we are going to continue to be fearful unless we do that. Once we do that, it removes the avoidance. And when we remove that avoidance, we get rid of the anxiety. Research published in the Journal of Economic Psychology demonstrates that individuals who monitor their accounts daily report 45% lower financial anxiety and make fewer impulsive, non-essential purchases. Just like we talked about in actionable item number 7. We have the ability to remove those impulsive buys by making simple changes in our life. Remove the information that's readily available for you to just hit purchase. Also, go back and check your accounts. Go look at it every single day at noon. Set your alarm clock. Sit down there for 2 minutes. Look at all the purchases you had from the previous day. And guess what? You will start seeing the bigger picture. You will start removing that anxiety. You will go back and say, why did I buy this? Why did I stop and spend $10 at Starbucks and I am complaining that I don't have enough money? Or Well, I could have used that $10 to invest. I could have used that $10 for something else. When you see it taken away from your account, because remember, we live in a world that's not cash-based anymore. We live in a world where we swipe and we don't actually physically see. Think about the mental capacity of that. When we see the cash come out of our wallet and it's no longer there, we can see it. When we swipe it, we don't see it. So make sure that you see your banking app. Make sure that you look in your transactions. And then you can weigh if it's important or not. Pillar number 5, we are on relationship intelligence and your family and building your family. And this actionable item is an awesome one. It's called the Open Your Heart Strategy. Sit down at the dinner table with your family. Before eating, everyone interlocks their fingers together. Here it is, like you're praying, right in front of your chest, like you're praying. This represents a closed heart. The rule is very simple. You cannot eat with a closed heart. And no one can eat with a closed heart. So open your heart. Someone else at the table must give you a genuine, specific compliment. We combine this with prayer before positive. While hands are interlocked, the family first prays together, praising God and expressing gratitude for life and for each other. Then family members take turns giving positive compliments until everyone's hands are open, their hearts are open, and the meal begins. Why is this so important? Well, it dismantles emotional tension. It encourages prayer and transforms mealtime into a sanctuary of connection and encouragement. The data behind this, research from the Gottman Institute confirms that maintaining a minimum of 5-to-1 ratio of positive to negative verbal interactions in a single setting or is the single greatest predictor of relationship stability and family trust. I have to tell you this story of my client. The client came to me with family that she was overly worried about. She felt like they were fractured. Her teenagers were glued to their phones, silent at dinner, and her relationship with her husband was stagnant. I gave her the Open Your Heart strategy. I created it then. Within 1 week, she called and she was overly joyed, literally tears. The phones, they just vanished. The positive compliments broke the silence, leading to laughter, deep conversations, and real emotional safety. Her husband re-engaged, and the kids started taking turns leading the family prayer. I recently brought this exact same exercise to this professional development session that I was hosting for an elementary school of 60 educators. I had my staff turn to one another, hold their interlocking hands like they're praying almost, and give genuine compliments before we could move forward. The room transformed in seconds. I mean, smiles broke out, energy surged, and confidence skyrocketed. I recommended that they implement this into their classroom so students start every morning with an open heart. Think about the impact of this strategy. You went from a closed heart to an open heart. You implemented God in a relationship. Your relationship pillar is growing with God by making sure we're praying before dinner. Whether you want to get into the prayer part of this, but also just into the positive reinforcement. When we start talking about this concept of giving compliments, how do you feel? What happens when someone gives you a compliment? What does it make you feel like? Think about students and how they would feel at the beginning of the school day and how they would feel going through the rest of the school day. I was given a great compliment from my friend or from somebody in the classroom. And even in those classrooms, maybe everyone doesn't want to give a compliment, but we do the snake effect. I gave you one, you give one to somebody else. Maybe we adjust it a little bit. Even in the situation with my client sitting at a dinner table, we even evolved that into, well, if I gave you a compliment yesterday, I'm not giving you a compliment today. Someone else is going to give you a compliment at that dinner table. Or maybe it goes back to the idea of everyone gives everyone a compliment in your family. There's only 4 people there. So you can come up with 3 compliments. And generally, one of the things that I did try to add into that, and I don't know if her family ever implemented this or not, but you should be complimenting yourself. Think about what it feels like to compliment yourself. Anxiety comes up, some things come up because you're so nervous about, this giving yourself praise. But after a while, you should be confident in yourself. You should be happy with yourself. You should live in speaking positively about yourself. That positive self-talk, it can give you the confidence you need to move forward. So not only can we take this strategy, we can evolve this strategy to see what fits best for us. But for you to walk out of there with compliments from other people, for you to incorporate God into your life, to pray, to have a relationship with God, have a relationship with your family, to have a relationship with those that are most important in your life, just imagine what happens afterwards. People start laughing, people start speaking. The dinner isn't silent anymore. It opens the door to conversation. All of this is so vital to improving your relationship health. Now, actionable item number 10, the 60-second re-entry greeting. Real simple. Get home from work, travel, wherever you were at, you're out, game, wherever it was. Do not look at your phone when you walk in. Do not discuss chores or complain about your life for the first 60 seconds. Walk straight to your spouse or your children, make eye contact, and give them a continuous 20-second hug. Or your spouse, give them a kiss and a hug. You have this 20 seconds and 60 seconds of not complaining or not mentioning anything else, but a silent 20-second hug. You don't have to talk at all. And this is something that will make your body feel different. The moment you cross your home's threshold sets the emotional atmosphere for the rest of that evening. We all have struggles. We all have rough days. That 20-second hug, that can change the entire mood. It can change the entire atmosphere for the rest of the night. Research indicates that a continuous 20-second embrace triggers a significant release of oxytocin, lowers your heart rate, and signals total physical and emotional safety to your nervous system. How do you feel when someone hugs you? You might feel uncomfortable at first. If it's your loved one, you probably don't. What does it tell us? What signals does it give us? I love you. I care about you. I had a rough day and I need this hug too. All of these things come into play. And when you get that physical connection and you release that oxytocin, you lower that heart rate, you become calm, you feel loved, you feel connected. It's huge for your life. It's huge for your body. Even if we're not huggers, even if we're not emotional creatures, spend the 60 seconds without complaining. Spend 10, 20 seconds of hugging someone and really feeling a connection with someone else, especially your kids, especially your loved one. It's important. And I know personally in my life, those are things I miss. And as my kids get older, I don't get the hugs I used to get. I don't get the love that I always got. And it's hard because those are kids becoming individuals, but I established these. And now they're going to have to deal with it because I'm reestablishing these quick wins in my life. And because I'm establishing them, they're going to hug for 20 seconds, whether they like it or not. And guess what's going to happen? It's going to open a relationship up again where physical contact of hugging and saying I love you and those connections, even with your own kids, is really important. And obviously with your person. If you have a person and you want to make that connection to, or you walk in that door, those are so important. It's vital. All right, so let me recap this entire kingdom recap of 10 quick wins that we just talked about. Building a kingdom isn't about massive chaotic overhauls. It isn't about this huge change. It's built on those daily micro wins. And I've been preaching this for a long time, and I just gave you 10 strategies for my life coaching that are so important. 10 little tiny things. Now, these are minimal things, There's so much more to offer in life coaching. There's so much more about the accountability piece. There's so much more with other strategies involved. But I just gave you 10 things to change the foundation of your kingdom if you implement them and you do it consistently for a period of time. And you continue to do it as a change in your life, not like a diet plan like you would do with food, where we do this for a short period of time and then we stop. You consistently do this and you add that to your life. I get it. Probably not going to do this on an every single day thing forever, but implement it. Even if it reduces down to, every 5 days or instead of 7 days or whatever the case is, because I know your life is different. I know sometimes we're not home at nighttime. I know sometimes we're not going to be available. So it's not going to be, but try to implement this for a long period of time so it becomes a habit, but also as a discipline in your life. You will see your kingdom build. Think about these things. What were the tasks that we talked about? Quick recap this. Spiritual uplift, the purpose, that pillar, the first sip dedication, and the evening surrender audit. Go back. Make sure you write these things down. Make these a quick win. I'll put them in the notes as well. The mental health growth pillar, the 90-second reset, the digital sunset, the physical pillar, the 10-minute glucose walk, and the morning hydration rule. The financial, the career, 24-hour friction lock, and daily treasury audit. And then number 5, the 5th pillar, the relationship pillar, the open your heart strategy, and the 60-second reentry. I want you to pick 2 of these strategies to lock in today. And I want you to watch how quickly the culture of your life shifts. Obviously, you're going to have to do it more than one day. 2 strategies today you can easily do by the end of today. But ultimately, I want you to pick all 10 of these strategies and watch your kingdom become stronger and your confidence as a king or queen skyrocket. It's so vital to constant work on ourselves. I want you to remember one thing. If you decide to implement 1, 2, 10 strategies, it is always with a purpose. It's a purpose of trying to build your kingdom and make your life better. You want to live in peace. You want to be happy. You want your people in your life to be happy. That's what kingdom building is all about. You are a king or you are a queen. You have the ability to do. I'm going to tell you this. If you decide to do this, please come talk to me. Let's get you on this podcast. Let's talk about your data that you came up with, your specific data. I have data from my clients. I will back it up. I have data that I just explained to you from research. All of those things come into play because these are habits that can help our lives, our daily life. I want to hear your data. I want to add it to my data collection. So reach out to me if you decide to do these. Also, remember, I'm going to tell you that I appreciate all of your support. Anyone that's listening to the podcast, I know I have family members that do. I really appreciate them. I know people that have purchased my book that really have given me great feedback. I know people that listen to this on a weekly basis, this podcast. I am in very much humbled state when I say this. I truly appreciate you. I truly appreciate your support. I am always asking for you to pass it on, pass the podcast on, pass the book on. It is all about life purpose. It is never about personal gain as it is about life purpose. The $3.90 I make off a book, those things like that, they're not for me to take as I'm just trying to sell a book. This is about the purpose that I truly want people to help with their life. So if you take anything from the book, take anything from the podcast, even my life coaching, it is about, yes, helping people, yes, establishing business for myself, but it is about truly my purpose, my God's work in life. So I remind you of this because it is really important for me to say, because this is truly what I've been. Remember, Saturday, September 19th, from 1 to 3, I'm going to talk to you at Plot Twist in Lockport. Come on out, buy a book, bring a copy. I'll get it signed for you. And you can see or have these conversations with me directly, anything we talked about on this podcast, anything you found in the book, I would love to have some feedback from you, talk to you, discuss further. And if you truly want one-on-one coaching with me, life coaching with me, please apply www.legacycoaching-buildyourkingdom.com. You can also reach out to me. My phone number is out there, 708-715-1204. I will always be available to take your call, discuss this with you, start building a plan for you, and then really working on the areas of your life, personalized areas of your life that you want to work on. But until next week, build your kingdom, but never forget who you're building it for. I'm Rudy Knapp, signing off. Have a great week. Back to school week for me. Pray for me. I'm praying for you.
Time to build your foundation. Leave your mark on this creation. Legacy, build your kingdom. Yeah, build your kingdom. Legacy, build your kingdom with Rudy.